Hey guys, welcome to another segment of Word of the Day. This is Caesar with Inspire Movement. Thank you for joining us for another segment. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. And if you're a repeat consumer, welcome back. It's always a great pleasure to be with you. I hope that you've had a great week, and we're going to start with a Word of the Day. So the Word of the Day today is actually shame. And shame by definition is basically a painful feeling of humiliation or distress. And it's typically caused by the consciousness of wrong or some type of foolish behavior. So things that we probably should consider when we talk about shame is that unresolved shame can essentially lead to things like depression, it can lead to anxiety, it could lead to low self-esteem. Also, symptoms that can deal with shame could be something like mental health diagnoses of, say, body dysmorphia. It could be a product of some past traumatic experience that you may have had, such as like rape or sexual assault. And obviously that brings into equation shame and these feelings of sort of unworthiness, if you want to look at it that way. All of these things can be treated through through therapy and a mental health counselor. Obviously, they can begin to sort of unearth what it is to leading to the shame and bring you into ways of healing and making amends with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Now, also some things to consider with shame is that they can be related to things like aggression, to violence, to bullying, to addiction. There's a lot of different tie-ins, or end products of just this shame that you're dealing with. As far as ways to combat shame, which I think is something that we're obviously interested in trying to unearth, other than going to see a therapy and dealing with a mental health counselor, what are some other ways, healthy ways that you can deal with shame if you're dealing with it? So for one, we talk about shame resilience. This is something that looks into like identifying triggers for shame. And the reason why it's so important to identify what triggers you to feel ashamed is that you don't then have this bad feeling that you're sort of dealing with and you use it to lash out against others, and sometimes it's masking this underlying shame. This lashing out is masking that underlying shame that's unresolved. So that's certainly an aspect of it. But also with this shame resilience is the aspect of being able to be critically aware or critical awareness. I think that's also very important. And what that basically is looking at is that other folks around you may have really high expectations of you and what you should be doing. So being critically aware is to say, well, how realistic are those expectations that those people have of me? And should I be worried and really so overly concerned about living up to them? So being critically aware is also very important. Also having outlets, like being able to talk to people about the shame that you may be feeling is also important and good. And obviously, anytime that we sort of, internalize all these things and never really have a way of escapism to talk about them, it's going to just build up and make us feel worse. So these are also ways in which we can definitely deal with shame. Also, don't be so critical of your past. So all of us have things that we're ashamed of and things that we've probably experienced either as a victim of someone else potentially, if it's a traumatic experience like we talked about, dealing with some sort of form of sexual assault, but also maybe we've wronged somebody else and we're ashamed of what we've done. Trying not to be so critical of your past is also very important as you try to heal and again, come to terms with whatever it is that you're ashamed of. So as I personally reflect on the word shame, obviously there have been many a season in my life in which I've been ashamed of certain things that I've done, maybe certain things that I've experienced by others that I've been ashamed of. And one thing that I found kind of interesting, when you think of guilt, you think of something that you really, really, really feel bad that you did. Well, shame is different than that, because shame is that you feel really, really bad about who you are. So you feel really bad about who you are and that somehow you're in the wrong for having either experienced this thing or having done this thing. And that's where the bigger problem is with shame. So yeah, I've definitely dealt with periods in my life where I felt ashamed of things that I've done or have experienced. One thing that I've used in order to sort of move forward and keep on is that notion that, hey, we're not all born with this instruction manual as a wise old sage with all the answers to all the problems that we may have. Either the things that we do as we go throughout life and we commit wrongs, or things that are done to us. We just don't know a lot of things. So one thing that I think is helpful is to allow for that little bit of self-grace that basically allows you to make mistakes and learn from them. I think part of being wise is just having a compilation of lessons learned that you can draw upon when a similar experience comes before you, that you can put to action and implement, and maybe even share with somebody else so that they don't go through the same thing that you maybe are going through right now. So I think that's been very helpful with me as I've dealt with periods of shame in my life, to continue forward and sort of look past that season and welcome new opportunities and new avenues for your life. So I hope you find some of these reflections helpful. Again, it's always a great joy for us to share these reflections with you. Please tune in to all of our social media platforms. We have a lot of things going on. I will put in a personal plug to an activity that we have on Saturdays from here to April 17th. If you are in Orlando, we are meeting at the Spring of Life Methodist Church grounds on the outside lawn and doing yoga on the lawn from 8 a.m. to 9:15 every Saturday morning. We started our kickoff this morning. It was a little bit brisky, a little bit chilly, but we were able to do it, and we're very thankful for everybody that showed up. We hope to see you this coming Saturday or from here to the 17th. Again, if you're local, we would welcome to see you. And we're also going to be doing another breakfast or lunch for the homeless community locally here in Orlando, something similar to what we did on Christmas Day. So tune in for that. We'll give you some more specifics as the day draws nearer. But thank you so much for your patronage, for all of the attention that we get from you. We continue building on this vision as a family, and we look forward to hearing from you. Have a blessed week.